Didn't see you there.
Get it? The sea right there.
Wait, Marina, do you hear that sound?
What sound? The Long Island sound?
Yeah, it's crying out for help because it's filled with pollution.
Oh yeah, when we pollute our watersheds, the pollution goes to the sound.
Wait, back up, watershed, but we're standing on land.
Oh no, we are always on a watershed. Watersheds are actually areas of land where runoff water will flow into a common body of water, like a larger river, a lake, or the ocean. We have 7 local watersheds that flow into one big watershed.
The Long Island Sound watershed?
Spot on, Elizabeth. All of the water in Madison will eventually flow into the sound.
Tell me about those local watersheds.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey guys, here we are at the Coggins Watershed. This is the tip of Cone Pond in the Rockland Preserve, and the water here will flow into the Coggins River. Okay, now let's go to the next location.
Hey guys, here we are at the Hammonasset River Watershed at the corner of Winter Hill and Watershed. Now you may have guessed it, but the Hammonasset River Watershed flows into the Hammonasset River. Now on to our next location.
Hey guys, now we're standing at the southwest border of the Neck River Watershed. We are where Green Hill Road meets Mungertown Road. This watershed will flow into the Neck River, which is back over there. Now on to the next location.
Hey guys, here we are at the northern border of the South Central Shoreline Watershed, where Fort Path Road meets Copps Road. Now, you might have guessed this, but the South Central Shoreline Watershed leads directly into the Sound. Now, let's move on to our next location.
Standing at the southern border of the East River Watershed. We are on the north side of Durham Road, above the circle, and you guessed it, this watershed flows into the East River. On to the next location.
Hey guys, here we are at the West River Watershed at the corner of Lakewood Drive and County Road at the Guilford border. Now, this watershed flows into the West River, which is actually in Guilford, so only a small portion of this watershed actually lies in Madison. Now, let's go on to our next location.
Hey guys, now we are at the Chatfield Hollow Brook Watershed. A very small portion of this watershed is in Madison. We are currently located very close to the Killingworth border on the Paper Mill Trail. This watershed flows into the Chatfield Hollow Brook. Okay.
Now we're going to talk about the smaller subwatersheds that are just in Madison. These watersheds are extra important because Madison is solely responsible for keeping them clean.
Hey guys, here we are at the Fence Creek Subwatershed. Now this is a fairly small watershed, so it only has a walking distance of about 10 minutes. Now when you're riding on Route 1, this watershed lies between Liberty Street and Bushnell Lane. Okay, so you may have guessed it, but the Fence Creek Watershed flows into the Fence Creek. Now let's walk across this watershed.
Another important subwatershed is the Tuxis Pond Watershed. We are located right near the source, the Tuxis Pond. This is right next to CVS. Okay. Before we talk about how you can protect your watersheds, we should focus on why. Watersheds are important because the water from them is used for drinking and recreational purposes. It is also used as a source of food and water for plants and animals. You can worsen your water quality by not taking care of your watershed. Anything on the ground can be washed into local waterways.
First, you can try your hand at gardening organically. Instead of using synthetic fertilizers and pesticides that pollute the water, try an organic alternative. To retain water longer, consider compost as an alternative, or adding a layer of mulch. By planting native plants, not as much fertilizer or water would be required. In Bower Park, there are regulations in place to ensure that the gardens are completely organic. You can try conserving water. Many Madison homes use well water. All Madison homes have septic tanks, so it is important to conserve water. Try not to waste your water in your home. Don't stall in the shower, and don't leave the sink on while you're brushing your teeth. Make sure your appliances that do use water are updated to conserve it. For example, toilets made after 1992 are water efficient. Use a drip irrigation system to water your garden instead of sprinklers, as your precious water will go right to the root.
This may feel like a big change, but you should cut down on non-porous pavement. The soil acts as a natural filter for the water, and when the water runs off into storm drains, it can be problematic for your watershed. The groundwater is not being replenished and the risk of flooding increases. Not to mention that the pollutants in the runoff are not being filtered out. Instead, you could have a rock driveway. An example of non-porous pavement in Madison is the parking lot at Salt Meadow Park.
Lastly, you could add a riparian zone. If your property has a body of water, you could build a natural barrier of shrubs and plants that will protect the body of water from erosion, provide flood control, and filter sediment and pollutants.
Now, these are only some of the actions that you and everyone you know should take. But of course, you should take a stand and do your own research to find out what more you can do for your local watershed.
And you can find out more by visiting our website.
Thanks for watching!